XRP a world reserve currency, guys? I know that sounds crazy and out of this world, but let us investigate further because there may have been a confirmation from a while back ago and just recently. I'm actually mind blown. First things first, this tells you more than 1,000 words. If you understand how the economy works, you know what I mean, right? It's all in plain sight, guys. Where is your favorite crypto project? Right, crypto company there with sitting right beside the elites of the system, guys, right? The puppets. No one else was there. Do you guys see Christine Lagarde, Brad Garlinghouse, all these other banksters, right? Bankers and the head of institutions over there from different companies and all that stuff, guys. Not to mention, here's another picture, right? I mean, come on, I don't see Tether there. I don't see Binance. I don't see, is Coinbase even there, guys? I don't even see Coinbase there, right? Well, maybe the plans go further than we thought it does, because how did no one else see and notice this before, guys? Right? How do you guys find this stuff? Honestly, exactly. This is the craziest video, guys, from Not Financial Advice Crypto. Just a crazy coincidence, on September 8th, 2009, CNBC reported that Brad Garlinghouse was hired to run AOL. Okay? But listen to the segment that directly follows. Listen to this, guys. This is the most insane thing ever. This is all predictive programming. Listen very carefully. Please like today's video because this is crazy. Enjoy.
And AOL has hired former Yahoo executive Brad Garlinghouse to run the company's email group and beef up its presence in Silicon Valley. Garlinghouse might be best known for calling attention to major problems at Yahoo in a 2006 internal memo. That paper was referred to as the Peanut Butter Manifesto because it claimed the company had spread itself too thin. Since then, Yahoo has changed CEOs twice. Since leaving Yahoo last year, Garlinghouse has been an advisor at private equity firm Silver Lake Partners. And coming up, is it time to ditch the dollar? The United Nations calls for a new global currency. So could this herald the biggest overhaul of the world's monetary system since World War II? And
oh my gosh, guys, I'm done. If this isn't subliminal programming to the everyone was watching back then, guys. Everyone watched the news, right? Let's be realistic here. They were programming the people for a future new world, right? Is it time to ditch the dollar? The nations calls for a new global currency. So could this herald the biggest overhaul of the world's monetary system since WW2? I mean, what are the chances of this, guys? Right? By the way, why did they even bring upon Brad Garlinghouse before this news segment? Right after Brad Garlinghouse, they talk about ditching the dollar, guys. They talk about ditching the United States dollar, right, for a new reserve currency, possibly a global currency, right? And what did we just got confirmed? Wait, how did he even find this, guys? Right, this was from 2009. The plans go so in depth, guys. The plans literally go since this right here, WW2. It goes since then, guys, if not earlier. Right, we talked about this. It's rooted, guys, since ancient times probably. But I know I'm forgetting something here. Listen to this though, right? They want to ditch the dollar for a new reserve asset. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. Now, it ties into this though. Breaks news. It's happening. The United States dollar top loser as Saudi Arabia pays Chinese yuan for trade. Right, the USD will play no role in cross-border transactions for payment settlements, guys. Goodbye USD, hello BRICS currency. But wait a minute, remember this right here, right? Right before the segment of ditching the dollar was Brad Garlinghouse. Literally a second before it, right? Right before it. Brad Garlinghouse is the CEO at Ripple. Which digital asset is in play? Oh, you don't say. Did I hear XRP? But wait a minute. David Schwartz confirmed this as well, that possibly there's going to be more than one reserve asset currency. The United States dollar is put under pressure as BRICS members China and Saudi Arabia are advancing in the de-dollarization motives, right? BRICS countries China and Saudi Arabia signed a trade agreement worth $7 billion on Monday, kickstarting the prime de-dollarization process, right? So they're fleeing from the USD, okay? The end is near, guys. The USD is going to, this is what I think will happen. The USD will have its final last pump, right? That will be during the collapse. After the collapse, when the new system arrives, there's going to be a change, right, of guard, 1,000%. XRP will replace US dollar as world's reserve currency, Ripple CTO. So David Short joined this space, guys, right? This was from, I don't even know, this was from September. This was from a while back ago, okay? Like months ago or something. Yep, September 3rd, 2023. So look what he says right here, guys. This is David Short stating this. We just got confirmed. The plans go very deep. Not financial advice.
Do you believe that there can be two existing world reserve currencies to simultaneously exist?
I do, and I think that could happen. I think it's quite realistic that a lot of the world is just done with the dollar as their reserve currency. And I think that there's a lot of places that are willing to try something else. And one of my scenarios, and I don't think it's going to play out quickly, but like one of my wild case success scenarios for a digital asset is if countries start to realize that the U.S. dollar is not going to be the reserve currency forever. Other things are going to be the reserve currency, and the same thing that we saw with banks. Like people, when we started selling software to banks, people would say to me, why would a bank use something that like you guys were selling them when they could use something that was like made by banks? And what they didn't realize is that, only like 10 banks in the country, on the planet, are Deutsche Bank, HSBC, Credit Suisse, JP Morgan Chase, like the ones who would build a system that the entire planet would run on. For the rest of the banks, that's 6,000 smaller banks, those are their biggest, strongest competitors. Those are the entities they hate the most. They would not want to use the system built and maintained by them because it's going to be biased in favor of them, their biggest and strongest competitors.
So basically he said that the USD won't be the world reserve currency forever, right? Just how civilizations have collapsed in the past, guys, and it's going to happen again, right? Patterns keep repeating. This isn't financial advice, but it's going to be upcoming, guys. It's 1,000% this decade, right? More so probably in 2025, around there. Who knows?
And I think the same thing could happen to nations. Like every nation would love for their currency to be the world reserve currency. That's helped the U.S., that's grown the U.S. economy, quote unquote, unfairly by leaps and bounds for decades. And every other country would be like, yeah, we'd like to have the world be the world's reserve currency. But the only countries that could possibly pull it off is the U.S. holding its position, maybe the EU, maybe Russia, maybe one or two others. But realistically, most countries know that if there's going to be a new world reserve currency that's a country's currency, it's not going to be them. And so they might actually prefer a currency that nobody can control to one that's controlled by their largest geopolitical rivals. And so that's like what I think is the biggest possible success scenario for digital assets.
No one can control, right?
The XRP ledger is decentralized because no organization or individual has any legal right or ability to control it. Every participant enforces every single rule, and the system is governed by all of its participants.
There we go, guys, right? So it seems like it's all been in place, guys, right? They just need to ignite some type of catalyst so everything can change like this. Let's resume. And then it gets even crazier, though. If you thought that was crazy, no. Listen to this.
If these countries are like, okay, well, the U.S. dollar can't hold on forever, but it's not going to be our currency because no one's going to want to repeat the U.S. dollar scenario. Nobody but the EU wants the EU to replace the dollar, right? Nobody but Russia wants the ruble to replace the dollar. Nobody but China wants the yuan to replace the dollar. So
what will they do? What will the countries and nations agree to?
Maybe they could settle on a currency that nobody could control rather than one controlled by their most powerful geopolitical rival. So if you want a success scenario, that's the one that I think is the most likely.
But
boom, guys, there we go. XRP is a neutral currency, right? And it's funny that when they created it, they called it neutral, guys, right? Neutral. We're not picking sides. We're not picking countries and nations. This is so funny how everything has been planned since I don't know how long now.
The money question is, how do you get everybody to agree?
Well, I mean, they might agree if the alternative is that their geopolitical rivals force some new replacement for the dollar that's not, that just if they just replace, the old boss with a new boss. If the choice is no boss, if that happens to make a bunch of cryptocurrency people rich, I don't think they're going to see that as too much of a minus.
That's good.
It was great talking to you guys.
If it happens to make a bunch of cryptocurrency people rich, guys, that doesn't seem too much of a minus. Do you guys want to know why? Because when they place this new system, it's going to be here for hundreds of years, if not more, maybe even thousands. Nobody knows because it's a new currency asset class, right? And fiat is much more destructible than cryptocurrencies, right? Digital assets. So that's the small price they have to pay to introduce a new financial system altogether. It's confirmed, guys. How isn't it, right? It may say, he did say though, it may take some time, right? So let us not say it's going to happen tomorrow, guys. If it does occur, who knows though? But it's weird. This is so weird. Arthur Brittle once said, quote, XRP must be scalable to accommodate 7.5 billion people, end quote. Why? Right? XRP is perfectly positioned to serve as a world reserve currency. Huh. Isn't that strange, guys? Arthur Brittle, not to mention predictive programming from this news channel, right? About ditching the dollar. And then you see here, David Schwartz just exposing it all. In play. I mean, I'm done, guys. I'm done. What? XRP will be a world reserve currency. This was published in 2019, April 6th of 2019. He talked about how the United States debt is growing rapidly, and back then, they predicted that the U.S. debt will reach $28.7 trillion by 2029. But today is about $34 trillion, right? And it's going to get worse and worse again. Do we see the game plan, guys? Introducing a new world reserve currency. XRP is perfectly positioned to serve a world reserve currency. It can be held in significant quantities to provide liquidity for foreign exchange reserves, right? International transactions and investments, and all other uses throughout a global economy. And that's where the price of 10K comes in, guys, if not more. Wow. I don't know. Are we dreaming too big? You let me know. But maybe this why central banks are purchasing gold as well, right? We're heading towards this new economy, guys. Let us be prepared. Not financial advice at the end of the day. What is that? So if you guys amazingness. See ya. Wow.